A quiet place. You have been chosen as the first opponent of the cinema savage. You shall be a worthy foe, for you have received acclaim and high praise from critics and fans alike. You have high reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and anywhere else people with far too much time on their hands get together to talk about movies. Oh, but I fear you not, A Quiet Place, for I have seen the holes in your armor, the plot holes, that is, and soon I shall drive my cynical blade deep into your heart and raise your head in the air in victory! A Quiet Place is a 2018 horror film written by, directed by, and starring John Krasinski as Lee Abbott. His wife, Evelyn, is played by Emily Blunt, and they have two young sons, going to die for plot convenience and not important to the story. Now, you may think I sound cruel calling him not important to the story, but look, he does not even receive a cast photo. The old man who dies in the woods, right after you meet him, he has a cast photo. The twins who play the baby, they have a cast photo. And one of them looks suspiciously like John Krasinski. But this child, no cast photo. They also have a daughter named Reagan. No, not that Reagan. This Reagan is a deaf girl who has a cochlear ear implant, which becomes very important to the story later. What's also important is the fact that the family has learned sign language to communicate with Reagan. This is important for them because they inhabit a world where humanity has been hunted to the brink of extinction by aliens who cannot see you and rely solely on their hyper hearing to hunt you. For you must remain quiet, for if they hear you, they will hunt you. Hence the tagline, if they hear you, they hunt you. Very appropriate, I suppose. The movie focuses on the life of the Abbotts, trying to survive in a rural farmland. A farmland that is very well kept. A farmland that seems to have been harvested, for they have silos full of grain and corn. For you know, harvesting is a very quiet process. Now, our film opens as the Abbotts arrive at a drugstore, seeking medicine for poor not important to the story, who is ironically only now important to the story, but could have been replaced by a rag doll, as all he does is lie limply in his parents' arms. But luckily for him, those parents seem to be doctors, for they have expertly diagnosed his disease and found the right medicine to cure it. Oh, but while they are there, going to die for plot convenience, he finds a toy, a rocket ship. But Lee stops him and explains it shall be too loud and attract the ire of the monsters, and takes it and puts it on the counter and turns his back, relying on the power of hope. But Reagan, you are a clever girl, for you take the batteries out, therefore making the toy harmless and impotent, but then proceed to leave the batteries on the counter and use the power of hope that your brother will not take it and put them back in the toy after you leave. Now on the way home, we find that he has in fact put the batteries back in the toy, marking this trip with tragedy. For as he plays with the toy, the creatures hear it. For not only do they rely on the power of hearing to hunt you, they rely on the power of plot convenience. For you see, they are never more than a few feet away from the Abbott family anytime they make noise. I mean, seriously, there's supposed to be 3 of them in this entire area. And no matter where they go, at any point in time, when someone makes noise, there's one 2 feet away from them. Your plot convenience powers make you a very dangerous foe indeed, aliens from A Quiet Place. But this brings me to a question. Why do the Abbott family have to all go together to find these drugs? We see Lee taking the other son, not important to the story, on trips, only to teach him how to survive. Lead us to believe that Lee has gone on trips to find supplies by himself all the time. So why, in this one particular case, do they all go together? Well, perhaps you could argue it was because of this trip that they started not going together. But you would think, with so many young children out around aliens that will kill you as soon as they hear you, there would have been tragedy before this. But no. Anyway, let's now fast forward, as the movie does, a little bit over a year in the future. And we find now that Evelyn is pregnant. For you see, when you live in a world where a sneeze can lead to your death, and you must huddle in the basement with your children for fear of extinction, it's very important to maketh the whoopee when you have the opportunity. But this pregnancy presents a new set of obstacles for the Abbott family. How shall they deliver the child? For childbirth is a noisy ordeal. How shall they raise a child? For children cry. Children make noise. Children whine. Constantly. But they think they found a plan for this. For you see, when the child cries, we'll put it in a box! And that will solve all our problems. But let us not focus on this. For you see, the rest of the film focuses on their life around this, which is actually a little bit boring if you ask me. Seriously, they go for supplies, they talk about how to have a baby, they play board games, someone spills something, that must catch on fire, but they're fine. And really, not much happens until they meet a man in the woods. They see his wife is dead, and the man decides he wants to die too. And the man is kind of a jerk, because rather than trying to get them to leave so he can kill himself in peace, he just screams so he can kill Lee and his son, because, hey, if you want to die, I'm sure everyone else wants to die too. You jerk. But at least you got a cast photo. Now, living their lives leads to a point where Evelyn does have a child. But luckily for her, they set off fireworks, because fireworks will always hide the noise of a child being born when the creature is right next to you. Because even though fireworks might be louder, you're still closer. But beyond this, Lee finally gets into a final confrontation with one of the creatures, wielding an axe in a brave attempt to save his children. But then immediately dies because, you see, Lee, you're not like I. You're not a savage, capable of taking down monsters with an axe. No, but at least you have saved your children, who are now hiding in the basement until the monster follows them there too. But luckily, we get back to the cochlear ear implant now, which causes feedback, which I will discuss with you later. The feedback is the bane of the monster's existence. The feedback causes them to open their heads up, the head that was armored before, as it reels in pain. And in this pain, they're able to bloweth thy head off with thy shotgun of righteousness, therefore saving themselves. Oh, but poor Lee. All you had to do was last a few minutes in this fight. But you could not even do that. You have disappointed the savage, Lee. You have disappointed the savage. Now that I have discussed with you the brief summary of this movie, let me discuss and expose these plot holes. The plot holes which will be my key to victory. The plot holes which will be your downfall, A Quiet Place. First of all, let's discuss how these creatures got to Earth in the first place. For you see, we're led to believe through the movie that they arrived amid a meteor shower. John Krasinski himself, in an interview with Empire Magazine podcast, spoke of how they came to Earth once their planet was destroyed, and talked about how they survived the destruction of the planet and the ride on meteors through the space because of their armored exoskeleton. That must be some body armor. For you see, body armor typically do not protect you from explosions. And yes, I know the bomb squad uses specialized body armor to protect when they are defusing a bomb. But those are typically used more for shrapnel defense, not concussive blast defense. And if one of those went in a nuclear blast, it would be incinerated. But the destruction of a planet is much larger than a nuclear blast. You see, the destruction to destroy a planet would take about 3 trillion joules of energy. For a little bit of contrast, a lightning bolt contains 5 billion joules of energy. So, to destroy a planet would be much more than a nuclear bomb. It would be several 100,000 nuclear bombs. But this creature survived intact because of an exoskeleton? I find this suspect, A Quiet Place. But alright, I'll bite. They survived the destruction of a planet because of an exoskeleton. Now, they ride through space where there is no food, no water, no oxygen. These creatures live on Earth with us. Surely they must have something biologically in common with us. They hunt us. They eat things on our planet. Therefore, they must be at least somewhat carbon-based. But they can survive without food, water, or oxygen because of a body armor? I cast my doubt upon thee, A Quiet Place. I cast my doubt upon thee indeed. And then, beyond the destruction of a planet, the survival in space for who knows how long. I mean, if you think about it, even if a planet near Earth exploded and the meteors rode towards Earth, could be months. If it's further away, it could be years. In another galaxy, decades, centuries, millennia. How long were they floating on these things? But then they get here, and they slam into the Earth after surviving re-entry at a high rate of speed. I would like you to do me a favor. Try an experiment. Go skydiving, but do not bring a parachute. Bring a suit of plate mail and tell me how it feels when you hit the Earth's surface. For you see, body armor does not protect your internal organs like that. But alright, they're here. And then they begin hunting people from what they hear them. But why are they hunting them? If they can survive all this time in space without food or water, why do they need to hunt? Are they just the angry old man in the galaxy? Going around, "Oh, you crazy kids! Turn down that racket, I say!" But alright, they're hunting us. They're killing us. In seemingly thousands. Seriously, how many creatures got here? Could the Earth survive this impact? Sure, okay, I'll say they can survive the impact, but can the Earth itself survive the impact of so many asteroids carrying so many creatures? Quiet Place. Shall we go on? Do you need more punishment still? I am ready if you are. My next question is the infamous water question, but mine is a twist on the water question. The Shyamalan will be proud of me indeed for this mighty twist. For you see, A Quiet Place, if the monsters can only hear and have no echolocation, for you see they can't have echolocation, for there were times when Evelyn was very near to one, but did not make noise, so was not killed. So, if they had echolocation, they would have said, she's there! You're quiet, but I'm still going to kill you! Ha ha ha! Why would creatures who hunt by hearing be anywhere near anything but a noise? The water and the waterfall make constant noise. So why would the creatures go anywhere else but there? Why would they need to be anywhere else? And if they're in the water, wouldn't they be drowning? But if you can survive in space without oxygen, why can't you survive in a waterfall without oxygen? Next we have the ear implant, which I told you to talk about later. The ear implant, which spelled the downfall, the doom of all these monsters. You see, in doing my research for this movie, I found cochlear ear implants do not give off feedback. So the whole premise of how to defeat them goes out the window. But you might say, Lee was experimenting with it. For Reagan's ear implant did not work very well, and he was trying to fix it, make it better for her. So maybe, in his experimentation, he has accidentally happened to create the perfect weapon to destroy the monsters. Another suspect statement there, A Quiet Place, but I'll go along with it, because you've already been defeated, and you just don't know it yet. See, my biggest plot hole is the fact that your monsters, so feared, so dangerous, are easy to kill, easy to destroy. We could bury them in a few days. Oh, you dare question me? You think I am wrong? No, no, no. I will grant you the armor, which even our greatest bullets, tanks, missiles, nuclear explosions can't pierce. But, you see, humans aren't idiots as you think we are. We are smarter. We have people in the government, yes, even this government, who are intelligent. People who would watch these creatures from afar. People in bunkers or safe places who would have cameras and watch them and set up noises on bullhorns and microphones, attract them in, study them, play with the feedback, see which noises hurt them, which noises help them, which noises make them do the rumba. And then, when we see which noises hurt them, we would exploit it. Put a man in a building a mile away with a sniper rifle and blow their exposed heads off, as Evelyn did in the basement. Or we would take a creeper clapper monkey, put a bomb inside its creepy head, allow the creature to get close, devour our poor clapper monkey, then push our button and explode it from the inside out. Oh, A Quiet Place, your creatures are not scary. They are not dangerous. Perhaps it would take a few of us, maybe even a couple hundred. But a couple hundred compared to the millions they must have killed in your story? Nay, I say nay! Your monsters could not defeat us. But humanity is resilient. We have scientists. We have engineers. We have soldiers. We have people who just don't want to die like the Abbotts, who would find a way to survive. So then I say, if your creatures cannot even defeat us, how then would your movie even take place? Ah, you see, A Quiet Place, I have defeated you by the greatest plot hole of all. The plot hole that your creatures are weak and we are strong. All I would have to do is let out my mighty battle roar. Roar! And then I will take my sword, just I'm about to do to you, and cleave off their heads. Ah! Hey everybody, thanks for watching this review. It's my first one. It's what I've really wanted to get into for a long time, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, criticisms, any ideas for me to get better, just let me know, and I'll be happy to try to include that next time. I look forward to doing some more videos in the future, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks all. Bye.